Congratulations to Myles Turner, all-time leader in Pacers franchise history in block shots, passing the great Jermaine O'Neal. And Myles was dominant tonight. I think he had, how many blocks did he have? 5 blocks, and every one of those was needed. And so a hearty congratulations to him. If you want to check out the celebration, check it out on Pacers Instagram. Pretty cool. And love the way we played. Tough game. Both teams are playing well. This building's as loud as any building in the league. We had to survive an early onslaught of shot making, which you just expect in here. But our guys kept their poise. Tyrese put together a masterpiece tonight. Both scoring, assists, playmaking, and defense too. And so he was great. Siakam was great. A lot of guys really contributed. Nembhard and Nesmith in particular did a great job chasing Curry and Thompson around. I mean, those two guys are murder. And when you're playing against a team where you got 3 guys you're playing against who just go by, everybody just calls them by their first name, and they're going to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you're going against something special. And so this is a great win for us, and really, really, really happy for the guys.
I guess just to keep going on defense, I mean, you held them to 17 of 50, I think, in the second half, or like maybe 4 of 23 from 3. I mean, just to keep going on what they did. I mean, just what do you feel like you guys were able to do, just sort of, flipping a switch to play as tough a defense as you did in the second half?
We had to amp up our attitude in the second half, just our overall, nastiness to compete and get physical. The half started out well. Drew got a layup on the first play. It was back and forth a little bit. Then we got a little bit of separation. And the important thing was to keep concentrating defensively and keep running. Keep running. So, we were able to do those things. And, this is every game's important. I mean, there's no point in overstating that.
Just you mentioned Drew before. I mean, obviously he's running through a billion screens and having to chase Curry, which has got to be one of the toughest assignments there is. I mean, just what all stood out to you about just what he was able to do to make him work? I think he was 9 of 23, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, look, anytime you hold Steph Curry under 30 in this building, you've done an amazing job. I mean, the guy's, just one of those guys. He's just different and beyond special. And the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game, he hit 2 or 3 threes, and the biggest problem we were having in the first half was we were not getting the loose balls. We got 10 out of 25 loose balls in the first half, and they got 3 or 4 of their threes off of those. Second half, we were getting the loose balls, and that was a big difference.
Last one, just want to go back to what you said about Tyrese and just his masterful job. Obviously, he gets a couple shots to fall as well, and that's not everything, but his overall offensive performance, just what stood out to you, and also just what most impressed you about what he also did on defense.
Just thought the recognition, the aggression, the timely shot making. I mean, the shot at the end of the third quarter was enormous. It takes it from 11 to 14. There's a huge difference there, and they only had 1 timeout left. So, special players do special things, and he was great tonight.
Coach, when you look at that second half, the way your team came out possessed on defense to hold them to what they did, and then force a lot of turnovers on their end, what was the message said at halftime? Because there was a pretty even first half.
We had to get loose balls, and we had to get more physical. And I just said it a moment ago, we just had to, bring our attitude up. We just had to have a defiance to how we were playing defensively and offensively. And we did better. I mean, all the stats show that. Look, holding this team to whatever it is, 111 is really a great collective effort. And so my hat's off to our guys. This is a hard game.
Rick, good to see you.
Good to see you.
With Tyrese, obviously this is the guy that you got used to seeing your entire time in Indiana with him. and you've seen everything in this league, so you know that a guy like that is going to get back to where he was. But how, if at all, did you try to have an impact on him during this stretch where he struggled, whether it's schematically, off the court, talking to him, and overall, just how have you seen him try to navigate the tough stretch?
Well, there's a lot of communication that goes on. The comeback from a hamstring, is a climb. It's a gradual climb. And so even when you get back to where you're completely pain and soreness free, you still don't have your training camp conditioning base. And so it's taken a little while to build that back up. But, he's making constant progress, constant progress. They may not be huge leaps, but he's making progress, and big difference right now between, how he's moving and how he was moving 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And so, that's the big thing. And, he's a guy that has a brilliant mind for the game, is extremely resourceful. And so during a lot of this period, he's been talking about ways to get other guys involved and to help the team as he's trying to get back to where he needed to be. And so he's getting close.
Have you seen, just a quick follow, he talked the other day about a lot of it being mental from a confidence standpoint and just the way he approaches the game, especially a guy like that where when he gets hot, nobody's stopping him. How has he navigated that part? I mean, he had a shot late tonight that could have sealed it, and it seemed like he was pretty frustrated at himself even on a good night. When you seeing the confidence go up and down a little bit?
Yeah, it's not a confidence thing; it's a process thing. And for me, it was just a matter of time. And in recent games, the ball's been going in more. And so as that happens, it's going to energize a player, and so you gotta ride that momentum, and we got to make sure that his body is fresh, and it's this has been a testament to the strength of his will as a player to go through all this, and so it just raises my level of admiration for him, both as a player and as a human being.
You mentioned how hard it is to win here. Your Pacers are now 5-0 in this building. How impressive is that stat, given what you just said about how hard it is to win here?
Yeah, you don't look backward. They won the last game in our building. Who cares? It's just we can't get caught up in feeling good about anything like that has to do with some five-year period thing. I mean, we've got less than 48 hours and we play the Lakers, and then we got another, 22 hours and we play the Clippers. And so, that's the world we're living in. And right now, as we're building this team to be a playoff team and a contending team, these games against high-level teams that are physical and emotional are essential, because you go through the same things that you do in the playoffs. I mean, this atmosphere tonight, not much different than an NBA playoff game. And the more that we can get, the better.
And make their lives harder, so I thought we did a good job 1 through 5 doing that.
They obviously have just great shooters, and they run around a billion screens. Just what's it like to go through that and just have to hang in with those guys?
It's tough. You got to be alert at all times. I got 3 or 4 guys over there. Every time they pass the ball, they're looking to come off a pin down, chase action, any kind of screen. So you just got to be locked in at all times.
Just what Myles getting the Bucks record? How cool is that? Really celebrating that with him.
That's so cool, man. Like, he works very hard. He's a leader. What he does, and I feel blessed just to be a part of the team and a part of the moment that he got.
What just you guys have talked about defense all year. Just what's it mean to see real fruits of your labor coming through, especially in really over the last 5-6 games, or really the last month?
I mean, yeah, we're doing a good job. Like, we're picking it up on. I said it before. If we continue to go at this pace and the way we play offense, nobody can keep up with us over 48 minutes. So we just got to keep building. Like you said, Myles got the block lead, all-time block leader. he's our anchor. He's going to keep leading us on that side of the floor, and we're going to be good.
Appreciate you.
What was the message second half? It was an even game in the first half, and you guys seemed like you guys came out from the switch, they possessed defensively in that second half.
We had to fight over a bunch of screens. They got hot early. They were making shots. We had to get more physical, make them more uncomfortable, make their lives harder. So limit their open looks, and it helped out.
And does it help to, like, when you can stop Curry and play who are having this first half to make them not just in that second half like that?
Like I said, like they made shots early. We let them get some easy ones, which you can't do with guys like that. So we had to be more physical. We had to make their lives more uncomfortable. We had to make them work the entire possession, so they didn't have their legs at the end of the shot. So we did a good job just picking up our physicality.
The Curry assignment did a really good job of chasing him down. Just what's it like, running through that assignment? You've got to run through a billion, screens, and he's running all over the places. What do you feel like?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's tiring. He definitely moves a lot off the ball and never lets you rest. So it was definitely a thing I had to keep focused on the whole game for sure. And he's gonna make shots regardless of how tough you make it. So it's one of those things you gotta keep yourself in it even when he makes shots on you.
I guess is the biggest thing there when he makes one, just forget it. You just have to kind of move on.
Yeah, I think that's basketball. There's so many mistakes happening in basketball. You got to have a amnesia type of mindset where you just really don't care at all.
How do you feel like you guys just change your kind of collective, physicality, mindset, and everything? I think you held them to 17 and 15 in the second half.
Yeah, I think the last two weeks or so we've had a real physical mindset where we're just being dominant in that sense and putting our will into the game and our youth. And I was just saying our youth too, putting that depth into the game, all that energy we got.
You feel like that's just the biggest, most important thing you guys have figured out on defense? I mean, your defensive numbers the last 5, 6, 7 games are really, really good.
Yeah, I think it's a part of energy and effort too. I think it's also a schematic thing where we need to be better at the coverages that we were doing. I think recently we've done a better job, maybe in the ball screen or just executing coverages better.
I think another thing Rick said was just you guys had to keep running. I mean, you got a bunch of layups, just run out wide. How important was that piece to get stops and then try to maximize the numbers fast as you could?
Yeah, I think we have a bunch of good players that can expose matchups at any time. So it's hard to not get fixated on finding certain matchups you want to go at. I think that we're best when we just play our flow movement. Everybody's touching it. We're playing super random. We're gonna score anyways, in my opinion.
Myles obviously gets the career blocks record today. So how cool is it to see that? What was it like to
It's cool. It's cool, man. He's been here for so long, so it's nice to see him kind of breaking records and making a name for himself even more. Happy for him. Great locker room guy. Great teammate. Always helped me ever since I've been in the league, so I love him.
Myles, a terrific night for you as one of the leaders of this team, as well as you for individually. How's it feel to be the Pacers' all-time block shots leader?
It's definitely an emotional feeling, just being here as long as I have and just going through everything I've been through. I think it's amazing I can leave with something, no matter what happens, in the future. I can tell my kids about this moment, my grandkids, and hopefully this record's here to stay for a long time.
But the fact of the matter is you had 5, and you did it on a night where you guys got a 5th straight road win. How does it feel to do it on such a night like that?
Well, just the fact that we did it by committee. I mean, there's so many big performances by so many people on the team tonight, and to do it in an arena like this and with a team like that, it's pretty cool. Just really starting our road trip off the right way in a critical moment of the year.
You guys have had 5 straight road wins, all by double figures. What's the difference in how you guys are approaching the road now from earlier in the year?
I wouldn't even think it's a road. I think it's our defense, man. I think we've really turned up a different level there. We got guys committed more on that end of the floor, and I think to where we started the year, being last in the NBA, 30th, whatever it was, to where we are now, I think it's incredible just the resiliency of this group.
How has the addition of Pascal Siakam made things easier for you?
Oh, it's been huge, man. He's a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams, and he's going to come in and get his numbers, and he's really going to help us, for this postseason stretch. So he's definitely helped me. I'm able to space the floor, and we're able to work off each other pretty well. And we're starting to develop some good chemistry.
Just one overall switch as far as the defense in the second half. I think you held them to 17 of 50. Obviously, you guys are both making shots a lot in the first half. But what did you guys just turn up, I guess, in the second half?
I think we just kind of just locked in and got it done, man. It wasn't like one little formula to it that made it happen. We started playing a little bit harder and just we dug in and just did what we need to do.
I'm frustrated by what Andrew and Aaron did, especially Andrew covering Curry. When he gets going early, but just to hang with him, and I think hold him. I think he was 9 of 23.
Yeah, I was impressed, but that's nothing different than what they've done all season. You know what I mean? I feel like those guys really are a big integral part of our team. Drew, whatever reason, loves out here in the Bay, man. He plays very well when he comes out here. I thought he did an excellent job. I think Aaron didn't back down whatsoever. That's just his personality. You know what I mean? I think he's just the junkyard dog of our team, and like I said, he was able to come in here and make some big plays for us.
Myles, to that end about the defense, the last 10 games, you guys are top 10 defensively now in defensive rating. What was the switch, or was it a mindset? What's happened to make you guys so much better defensively?
Well, you can be the best offensive team, but if you don't defend anybody, nothing's going to go your way. I really feel like it's a credit to the coaching staff. I think they really kind of just switched our mentality, and we know we can score, right? We've done a lot of stuff. We've done, we had Tyrese, right, head and ship, but our coach staff really put a lot of emphasis on our defense, and I think our group as a whole has done a good job of responding. What do you want?
Yeah, TJ McConnell, with all what you have, almost 1,250 blocks now, I think, but you've never blocked TJ McConnell?
I've never blocked TJ McConnell in an opposing NBA uniform, but there's been a few practices where I have had my way.